Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something deeply important, something often overlooked, and yet something that determines the future of many marriages. Today we're talking about sustaining companionship. Yes, when most people get married, the beginning feels magical. There are butterflies, there's the sweeteners, there's excitement that seems endless. It's a beautiful thing, to be sincere. The couple are deeply in love, deeply interested in each other, deeply intentional about each other. Then all of a sudden, life happens. When children arrive, responsibilities increase, bills multiply, dreams expand, pressure arises. Yes, it may not be the same with those who don't want kids, who don't want to build. And, slowly, almost silently, many couples begin to drift. Not because they plan to drift, not because they stopped caring about each other, but because their focus shifted. The moment many couples begin raising children, especially, something subtle but powerful happens. The attention that once belonged to the marriage now gets redirected almost entirely to the family structure that they're building, to the finances, the school fees, children, career growth, planning for future, and all that. And before they realize it, they are building a family, but no longer nurturing the relationship that is between the couple. They are parenting together, they are functioning together, they are surviving together, but they are no longer truly vested in each other to exemplify the word companionship. And that, my friend, is where the danger lies. Because companionship does not disappear overnight. It erodes gradually, little by little, through neglect, through assumptions, through unspoken disappointments. Let's be clear about something. Marriage does not automatically guarantee companionship. No, it doesn't. Companionship is not a title you receive on your wedding day, not at all. You know, it is a reality you create through daily actions and daily treatment. When we talk about companionship, we're talking about something, I mean, two major things. We're talking about two major things. One is emotional connection. And, emotional connection means the way you feel seen, heard, valued, and safe with each other. In other words, the result of your actions or inactions towards your spouse. And the second thing is mutual commitment, the consistent choice to show up, to invest, and grow together over time. In simpler words, the way you treat each other. These two things are deeply connected. How you act towards your spouse influences how they treat you, and how you are treated influences how you respond. It's a cycle, a powerful one. Now, let's honestly talk about the child raising years. Raising children is demanding. It consumes time, energy, emotions, and finances. And during this season, many couples unintentionally put their marriages on autopilot. Yes, they stop doing the little things that count. Birthdays pass without celebration, milestones go unacknowledged. Dreams are dismissed as not the right time. Encouragement is replaced with silence. Affection becomes rare. Conversation becomes transactional. Yeah, what time is school pickup? Do you pay the bills? Have you seen the kids? Slowly, the marriage turns into a management meeting. And here's the hard truth. If you stop investing in the relationship while raising children, you are not building companionship. You are postponing its collapse. Many people assume companionship will magically appear once the children are grown. It doesn't. They tell themselves when the kids leave home, we'll have time again. When things settle down, we'll reconnect. When life is less busy, we'll find each other again. No, but companionship does not work that way because the child raising phase is not short. On average, raising children takes at least 18 years. For many families, it stretches to 20, 25, or even 30. that is more than enough time to grow emotionally distant. That is more than enough time to become strangers living in the same house. And when you grow apart for that long, you don't magically rediscover each other just because the children are gone. In fact, for many couples, companionship only becomes visible or painfully absent after the children are grown. That is the moment of truth. That is when couples finally sit across each other and ask, sometimes silently, sometimes aloud, who are you now? And who are we to each other? Yeah. And the answer to that question is shaped entirely by what happened during the years you're raising the children. Because companionship is a product of how you acted towards each other during those years and how you treated each other during those years. Those actions, those treatments, those moments, they don't disappear. They accumulate and they determine whether you grow closer or drift apart. That is why we see something that confuses many people. We see couples who raised children together, lived under the same roof, shared responsibilities, and yet emotionally distant, and they are no longer together. Some are still legally married, but emotionally they're separated. Some are co-parenting without companionship. Some are functioning families without functioning marriages. Yes, from the outside, everything looks normal, but on the inside, the relationship is gone, is empty. Those who never officially ended the marriage, but quietly ended the relationship. They didn't announce it. They didn't fight publicly. They simply stopped choosing each other. And this period, the child raising season, it is the most critical time to prevent that outcome. Because when you stood at the altar, you didn't just take an oath to raise children or wherever you stood. You took an oath of togetherness. The oath does not pause when the children arrive. It does not become optional when life gets busy. The oath must guide how you speak, how you decide, how you sacrifice, and how you treat one another, especially during demanding seasons. So how do we sustain companionship while raising a family? That's the question. How do you prevent emotional distance from turning into permanent separation? The first principle is this. You must learn how to reduce the self and invest in the union. And when I say kill the self, I don't mean losing your identity. I mean letting go of selfish frameworks. Frameworks like my money is my money. Your responsibility is yours. I earn more, so I matter more. I provide financially, so I don't need to help domestically. Kill those. This mindset destroys companionship. Marriage is not a competition. It is not a scorecard. It is not a transaction. It's a union. Union. Your money is not yours alone. Your spouse's money is not theirs alone. Whatever both of you earn belongs to the marriage. If one earns 10 and the other earns 6, the marriage earns 16. Not 10 versus 6. Not contribution versus entitlements. 16. And that mindset changes everything. It allows you to see your spouse clearly. It allows you to respond to needs without resentment. It allows generosity to replace calculations. For men, this means understanding that provision is more than money. Presence matters. Support matters. Domestic partnership, it matters. For women, this means understanding that any more does not give you leverage. It gives you opportunity to strengthen the union. No jealousy, no silent competition, no emotional accounting. Because when finances become a battlefield, companionship becomes a casualty. And beyond finances, companionship thrives on intentional emotional investment, encouraging your spouse's dream even when they seem inconvenient, celebrating milestone even when life feels busy, offering affirmation even when exhaustion is high, choosing kindness even when stress is intense. These are not extras, they are deposits. Deposit matters because here's the truth we often ignore. The actions you take today and the treatment you give today are the exact materials from which your future companionship will be built or destroyed. Yes, That is why we see couples who raise children together for decades, and once the children are settled, they suddenly divorce. Yeah? People ask, what happened? What happened is simple. They never invested in companionship while raising children. They saw themselves, but not the union. They focused on roles, but not the relationship. They survived, but did not connect. And sometimes they stay together after the children are grown, but the companionship is still broken. You see it in subtle ways. One spouse constantly finds reasons to leave the house. The other finds comfort everywhere except at home. Some women spend all their time with children and grandchildren not because they love them more, but because the marriage no longer feels fulfilling. Some men fill their lives with travel, friends, and work because home no longer feels like a place of connection. They coexist, and they do not have companion. And this, my friend, is why we must work and done now, not later. While the children are young, while life is busy, while energy is stretched, because companionship is not something you fix after the storm. It is something you protect during the storm. So I leave you with this final charge. Do not raise children at the expense of your marriage. Do not build a family while neglecting the foundation. Do not assume love will survive without effort. No, it won't. Choose each other intentionally. See the union, not just the roles. Invest in actions, treatment that you will be proud of. Because one day the house will be quiet, the children will be grown, and it will be just the two of you again. And when that day comes, may you look at each other not as strangers, but as lifelong companions who never stop choosing each other. Thank you. I hope somebody finds this useful.